It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. I am One Bar, joined with Mr. Lupigas.
Hello, I am very thirsty. How are you? It's hot out there.
It is hot out there. It makes everybody thirsty. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about four veteran Vikings that won't be back. They're not going to make the team. They're going to get cut before the season starts. So we're going to prepare your hearts and your minds and your souls that these guys will not be there.
Before we take out our sharp scissors, actually, you know what? They're very dull. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like our vids. It's been a slow climb to get to 700, but we're working our way up that mountain.
Well, it might be a slow climb, but, we've done some damage. Let's give ourselves a little credit here.
Let's say it's been a slow climb, but we've enjoyed the journey.
All right, let's get into this. Four veterans, 3+ years in the league that will not be back with the Vikings. I guess who are you starting us off with?
Well, I'm going to start, and it's going to hurt your heart because I know how much you love this guy. It's Ameer Abdullah, the, fourth running back, return man. He became a special teams ace last year. He was a hell of a gunner. I was never a big Ameer Abdullah fan. He was kind of a fumbler when he was with Detroit. I don't trust him, but I do give him credit for how he I think he embraced that role on special teams. He was often the first guy down the field making the tackle. He had some great tackles, had some heads-up plays, recovering some muffed punts.
I'm sorry. What kind of punt was that?
It was muff.
All right,
muff.
Thank you.
And you know what? He is a hell of a receiver coming on the backfield. He's shifty. He's fast. He can still make some things happen. But with the Vikings drafting KJ Osborne, and you got your three-headed monster already at running back with Delvin Cook, Alexander Madison, Mike Boone, I just don't see a spot for this guy in 2020. And I think the Vikings are going to keep more receivers this year, and I think Ameer Abdullah is going to get the axe.
Yeah, this one's painful. I love what Abdullah did last year for special teams. We needed somebody to step up. He did that hands down. He is not on this roster at all to be a running back. That is very clear. It is strictly for special teams. The way I see it, we had 7,000 draft picks last year. Between all those guys, there are going to be options there for special teams, options for maybe more of a payoff in the long run. So, yeah, Ameer Abdullah, as much as I love him, we're going to need to keep more spots on other positions, and we'll fill in the rest with some rookies. So Ameer Abdullah might be gonzo.
Yeah, and it's not even just for the return skills. The Vikings got a bunch of guys now who could be great gunners. I mean, you look at Harrison Hand, you look at Dan Lucena, who I know is an undrafted guy, but that is his bread and butter, special teams. There's so many guys who I think can fill that role and be much cheaper than Ameer Abdullah. So I do think his chance to make the team are very long.
Miles Dorn, Brian Cole. We got some special teamers on this team, and I can't wait to see them. Number two. Do you got a drum roll? That was a very, very piss poor drum roll.
I'm not because my dad's a really good drummer. I'm not.
This one's just going to be shocking because this guy can seem to do no wrong, even though he never sees the field. Everybody else in front of him could be injured. He's still not going on the field. Brett Bush Jones, our backup center that we traded from the Giants for, 2 years ago? He's gonzo. He's done. He's out of here.
The question is, and the biggest mystery, which should actually be on the new Netflix series Unsolved Mysteries, is why he is still on the Vikings. They never play him. They never use him. But for some reason, they keep re-signing him. Bush Jones, I get it. He's played center. He can play some guard. But Pat Elflein is kind of your primary backup. And they also got this kind of tasty, undrafted rookie, Jake Lucena, who I kind of like.
Kind of tasty? More extraordinarily tasty.
Yeah, he's like remember that the band used to always sell that taffy, saltwater taffy, and it was one flavor that was like some kind of cherry flavor. It was so good.
No,
that's what I think Jake Lucena would taste like. Anyway, I would be completely floored if he makes the final 53-man roster. And maybe this whole COVID shit with all these rookies getting these reps, maybe that would push him. It might be in his favor, but I still think it's a long shot for Bush Jones to make the final 53.
Let me break this down for you and make it real simple. Brett Bush Jones cannot see the field regardless of what happens. Jake Lucena, very, very good player. I love the fact that when they signed him as an undrafted free agent, he had a lot of offers out there. He picked the Vikings, and there's no difference between these two guys. Jake Lucena has potential for the future to be a very good backup. He can be a backup at center. He can be a backup at guard. Brett Bush Jones just offers nothing. He's out of here. And I'm really looking forward to Jake Lucena taking that spot over.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. And if there's any guy on this list who maybe could still make the team as this guy, it's Jaleel Johnson. You know, I know he was a 4th-round pick just a couple years ago, but he really he's showing up biggest in the preseason. He's kind of a hybrid player. He can be that nose tackle. He can be that 3 technique who can create the interior pressure, but he just doesn't do it consistently. He does not perform when the lights are shining the brightest. And to me, that's a huge concern. If guys like Armand Watts, James Lynch step up this preseason, this is a guy who could definitely be on the cutting rug. And, you know, maybe he's one player the Vikings could maybe get, you know, look to trade instead of flat out cutting and get a late round pick for him. But I don't know what it is. He has not put it together yet.
No, and when we drafted this guy in round 4, I was so excited. I wanted him in round 3 when we were up on the clock, and we ended up getting him in round 4. But you're right. He doesn't show up when he needs to. He obviously is doing something not great at practice because he rarely sees the field. He saw a chunk of the field last year when he was out there. Not great. With Armand Watts, with James Lynch, even undrafted free agent David Moa.
Wait. The Mo Constrictor?
I'm talking about the Moa Constrictor. He's been in the league too damn long and proved absolutely nothing. Is it that I believe this is his last year of his contract, right?
It is, yeah.
I mean, it's time to, unless he just shows up and he's a completely different player, it's time to move on from Jaleel Johnson. We got too many solid young guys that could do exactly what he's doing and are much younger and cheaper.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could save him is the fact that Shamar Stephen was so bad last year. If it comes down to Shamar Stephen or Jaleel Johnson, maybe the Vikings go with Jaleel. But yeah, he's been nothing but a disappointment since he's been brought in the league.
It's a sad day. I love that guy.
Yeah, let's move on. The last one here. We're looking at our what is he? About a 4th-year linebacker, Ben Gideon.
Gideon.
Yeah. Again, we've talked about this before. This guy is the definition of vanilla. He's been in the league of 3 years. He doesn't have a single sack, doesn't have an interception, doesn't have a force. He has no sexy stats, but he is solid. I mean, he'll get you 50 tackles a year. You know what you're getting from Ben Gideon. But he also has a history of concussions, and who knows if he'll even continue to play. I mean, that's a decision he has to make. He missed most of the 2019 season because of concussions. So you got this player who's like bleh, and he has concussion history. If he does come back, I think I would rather gamble on a young guy.
Yeah, Ben Gideon, I mean, surprisingly, this guy has 22 starts in the NFL. He's a special team asset, but again, we already talked about what we got in special teams. They're not going to hold on to him strictly for that. He does have injury past from last year, which was not great, and we got young guys behind him. I mean, who knows? Maybe Cam Smith shows up and all of a sudden he's just fantastic. Will that happen? Probably not. But they drafted Troy Dye. They got some undrafted free agents behind him, and Ben Gideon is on his last year of his contract. It'll be very interesting to see what happens, but if I had to bank on it, I'd say Ben Gideon is Ben Gonian.
Oh my God, that was really witty. And
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Don't forget about DeMarcus Gates, this XFL guy. He surprised.
I already forgot about him.
I did too. I don't. That's even his name.
I don't know. I forgot what you're talking about.
Yeah. So those are the 4 guys, the 4 veteran Vikings we expect to not be on the final 53. If you're going to pick one guy of this list who you think maybe has a chance, the best chance of making it, who are you going to say?
It's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Ben Gideon, strictly because he adds depth at that linebacker spot with a Cam Smith. We got some young guys. We got some unproven guys like Gates. and special teams, I think Ben Gideon has the best chance of making the team out of these guys.
No, I get what you're saying because, the Vikings already have question marks in this, at cornerback, at defensive end. You want to not have your backup linebackers also be a question mark. But I'm going to go Jalil Johnson because I think he brings more. He's in a contract year. He's younger than Shamar Stephen, and I don't know. I'd rather take a chance on him. But
take a chance on me. Take a chance. Take a chance. Take a chance.
Hey, Chipmunks version of that song, it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Great tape. All right, so that's it. Those are our 4 veteran Vikings. We do not expect to be on the final 53. And, while you guys are thinking about this, think about this as well. Otters, those cute little lovable animals, they hold hands when they sleep.